Kia ora, Matt here, welcome back. And in the last video we left off right here, having created all of our transactions via the import. So we've got all our transactions into the system. We've now got some solid information in there. We can now look to set a spending plan so that we can start to live life on purpose. But how does that work? Okay, how do we know what we're actually spending, right? Well, this is a new feature and I'm doing this live. It's real, it's unscripted. This is just what it is. And this is brand new. So I don't know how this is going to go, but let's have a look. We're looking at a spending analysis. Okay, so what the spending analysis does is it's going to take my spending over the last period of time, 30, 60 or 90 days, from any given account, and it's going to break it down into categories at the top level, but also transactions at the next level down. Now, the reason this is important is because now I can quickly see how much I have spent, right? Maybe this MasterCard payment, though, maybe that closed the account and I no longer have that credit card payment. So I don't want that to go into my plan for next month. So I can come through here. Yep, I want all my rent payments on. Yeah, that's fine. I want my grocery payments on. Yeah, because that's what we've been doing there. Food delivery. I'm going to make an effort to cut down on my food delivery because $2,300 was just too much for me. Yeah, so what I want to do now is I'm going to uncheck Uber Eats. I'm only going to order my food delivery from DoorDash. So now what I can do, you see, is I now add these to my plan. So I don't add the countdown. I don't add credit card because we've paid that off. We're going to add that onto there and you can see it's pushed it to the plan. So now what's happening is I'm now building my spending plan for next month based upon my actuals and any behavioural changes that I want to make. Now this is all happening at a category level. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to set my plan, push through everything that I want to push through, and yeah, obviously coffee is critical. So we'll have our critical. Maybe I don't need quite as much shopping, you know, so we'll take off AliExpress. I'm not going to do that. Click all my things, create my plan, and then what happens if I go into my spending plan? It loads up for March. No spending plans for March, but if I go to April, I now have a spending plan. Okay, so I'm 760 over plan, but I haven't got my income on here. So my expected income for the month, $4,000. Save that. And now this gives me all of my unallocated budget where I can come through here. I've got my spends. I can add new expenses. This is going to change. So this is going to be able to do repeating ones. At the moment, it's one-off expenses. And I can add and I can create my own spending plan. This is then used as my report. I'll get a planned versus actual. And this is me now taking control of my money. Through awareness, looking at what my behavioural patterns are, no judgment, nothing like that. This is just what's happened. That's what happened last month. This is what I'm going to try and achieve. I'm going to push that to this month. Let's have a look now. This is what I planned. This is what I actually did. At the end of the month, I've got a report where I can see how I'm tracking. Not, like I said, no judgment, just for my own behavioural change. Yeah, because I want to get better with my money. I want to make sure that I'm living my life on purpose. I want to do all of these things deliberately. And these are the tools that I can use to do that. So that's how we're going to create a spending plan. We can adjust it from in here. Like I say, we're at very early stages of this. We're learning as we go along together. And this system is going to change. If you see something in here that's kind of not working the way that you want it to, or you think that this would be a good feature, we've always got a feedback form at the top. Yeah, you can put anything in here. You can request a feature in here and let me know, you know, and if we can add it, then we will. because the idea is we want this to be a powerful tool that we're using to be able to bring spending conscious and bring about behavioural change in our lives. So that's the spending plans. Have a go. So if you've got any questions, if you want to get in touch with me at any time, you can do so through the feedback loop. You know, you can always get hold of me through here. I read every email. If you want to send me an email, then it's matt@getsolvent.online. That's matt@getsolvent.online. I read every email. Tell me what you think. I'd love to be able to hear from you. Okay, that's me. Have a great day. See you in the next one.